Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to the official podcast of Flock of Geeks Gaming. I am your host, Defense, and co-hosting with me is...
Kester.
All right, in this podcast, first episode, just to give you a little rundown, we're going to be talking about video games, comic books. Nah, we're not going to be talking about comic books.
Well, you could leave that in there. That wasn't a reason to cut. I was just going to interrupt you and be like, well, you could go, we're going to talk about games, maybe movies. Maybe TV. Probably not.
Yeah, we're going to focus on games.
Movies, maybe.
We'll definitely have a couple movies in here.
Yeah, but I don't read enough comic books to talk. I like manga, but I don't read it anymore.
Okay, we'll say video games based on comic books. Comic book video games.
Yeah. Okay. Anything video game related is going to be the focus of this show.
Absolutely. Okay, a little bit about us. For me, favorite games of all time, got to give it to Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. Huge fan. Pretty much adventure gaming in general, RPGs. Not a huge sports fan. I play a couple sports games.
I don't play sports games. I guess I liked NHL for a bit.
Yeah, NHL's pretty good.
Yeah, NHL is probably the best one, but I'm not a big sports game.
Yeah, and the last couple years I've been getting into the Souls games, and the newest one you could classify as Bloodborne, which came out for the next gen. So
love Bloodborne.
Yes, and so that's pretty much where I'm coming from, short and sweet. What about you, Kester?
I kind of have a couple games, I would say. My three favorite games of all time got to be Chrono Trigger. Probably my favorite Super Nintendo game. Probably favorite role-playing game of all time. I like Japanese RPGs a whole bunch back in the day, but they're just not good now. I like Resident Evil 4 a lot. That's one of my all-time favorite games, I think, as far as action games. It was just so good for its time. Invented the over-the-shoulder gunplay, which everyone steals nowadays. And probably my favorite multiplayer game of all time, the game I've probably played more than any other game, is the Uncharted series.
Ah.
Yes. Did you get the Uncharted 4 beta?
Yes, I did, thanks to you.
Yes, we figured out a workaround. We did get the beta. And man, this thing is disappointing. I have a lot to say about this. Before I just start rambling about why I hate it, what are your thoughts?
Okay, we played it a couple nights. I'm gonna say the first night was a lot of fun.
It really was.
It was a good time. We were stomping people.
Yeah, we only lost 1-2 matches.
Yeah, we probably played, I'm gonna say, upwards of 30 of them.
Yeah, we're having a great time with it.
Yeah, we were. Really, it was a lot of fun, and we were playing with a couple other friends too. And overall, it was a pretty good experience. And then, for whatever reason, when we got on the next day, it just went downhill. I don't know if it patched or something, but...
I'm guessing it just... when we were first playing it, I think we were kind of ahead of people. We were doing a lot of cheap stuff. We had been playing all day. But I think, once people caught up and started realizing, oh, this is how we're going to have to play this game, I think it just became too many sidekicks and I can't even describe. This might be the most disappointing I have ever been in a game.
And you said, so Uncharted 3 is your favorite all-time multiplayer.
Yes, it is. I had over 100,000 kills in Uncharted 3. That's how much I played it. I played that game for 3 years. I would pop it in right now and play it. It's arguably the most time I've ever sunk into a game. It's my favorite multiplayer. And you know what I did not want? Something different. And this is different. I wanted Uncharted 3 with better graphics, maybe tighter gameplay. I didn't want a different game. Mm-hmm. And different can be good if it's good. Sorry, insect. This is different but terrible. Like, it's everything they changed is for the worse.
Okay, so let's try to get our ducks in a row here, because we could just ramble on and just talk about what sucks, and we were talking earlier, and we decided that it is kind of, if anyone has played The Last of Us multiplayer, it is almost as if Naughty Dog combined The Last of Us multiplayer with Uncharted 3 multiplayer, or attempted to at least.
They tried to integrate some things from The Last of Us multiplayer, which I did not like at all.
Yeah.
Like, I know you kind of liked it.
It was promising. I saw where they were going with it, but it didn't grab me. I played for like 2 days, and I didn't really want to play anymore.
Yeah, it was slow. It was kind of boring. I mean, if you like sneaking around in like a really team-based game, it was okay. I played it at like 2 days, and then I was like, I'd rather be playing Uncharted. Mm-hmm. And I went back to playing it Uncharted. And why they would think we would want Uncharted to be more like Last of Us just blows my mind.
Especially considering they should just be completely two different games. And they're obviously going to make a second one because The Last of Us got such great reviews.
It did really well, too.
So well. I mean, if you talk to pretty much anyone who plays video games nowadays, it's like in their top 5 favorite games. I'm not saying it's in mine, but it's going to be in a majority of people's top favorite games.
Oh, yeah. It's one of my favorite games. It's really good for what it is, but it's more... The single player is what's so great about it, and the story and all that jazz. Like, I liked Uncharted multiplayer because I like third-person shooters better than first-person. I don't have anything against first-person shooters. I like a lot of them, but I like being able to see my character. It was also cool that you could jump around. It was, like, very vertical. There were kickoffs, pull-downs. But the best mechanics was how fast it was and what you could do with grenades. The thing that made Uncharted fun to me, the best part about it was was the grenades, because you could jump throw grenades, you could bank grenades off walls, you could drop them fast. If you didn't have a grenade, it was like not having a shield. And this new one, and this is why they can make tweaks to like power-ups and guns and all that and try and balance it as best they can. But they fundamentally changed how grenades work, and it just ruins it for me.
Okay. So, before we get into the negatives, which we have a laundry list of, let's try to get the positives from it. I'll start. Okay. The graphics are awesome.
Oh, yeah. They're amazing.
The game itself is very well polished. For what they wanted to do, they did it well.
Yeah.
The intention of the game is done really well. You can tell they put a lot of time and effort into that. And the graphics are phenomenal. There was a little bit of a server hiccup when we were playing at first. It was kind of hard. Once you got a group of 3 or more people, it was hard to get into a match successfully. Sometimes you got the party split up into different groups and stuff. That's kind of to be expected. That's what the beta's for. But overall, I think the biggest highlight of the game is how it ran and the graphics.
Oh, yeah. It's not like a bad game. Like the graphics are amazing. The animation on your character, the jumping, it all feels great. It's a good third-person shooter, but it feels like just another one. Mm-hmm. Whereas, like, Uncharted used to feel different. Like, it didn't feel the same as, what was that, SOCOM Navy SEALs, mm-hmm. or, like, Gears of War, or any of the other third-person shooters. And now, it does.
Yeah.
It feels like it is just another third-person shooter.
And it feels kind of cheap, too, because the character, I don't know, like with Gears, it had that atmosphere to it, and taking away from the Uncharted 3, the atmosphere and the gameplay mixed really well. And in this, it's like the atmosphere and the gameplay kind of clash. So, it's just really strange. It just doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel right with the aesthetic of the game and how you play.
Yeah, and I mean, it is kind of hard to judge it completely because we are just in a beta. A lot of the power-ups, like sometimes I wonder if Naughty Dog like even cares what their fans think, because this happened with the first 2 Uncharted's, is they made a bunch of changes, balanced everything out perfectly, and you're like, this is pretty much the perfect game. And then they just did something really stupid, and it was still good, but not as good. In the first one, on Uncharted 2, they, for some reason, had like a really good, like perfect. And they were like, we're going to lower everyone's health. And it just made it worse, but it was still fun. And then the third one, they balanced all the guns, and it was like, well, the Gmail is the best gun, but it is the most fun. It has a lot of skill into the game because you have to switch weapons occasionally. You can't just blind fire people over. And they're like, well, let's just nerf that and make it useless. So now everyone's using the same gun, but it's less fun.
Yeah.
And everyone always complained about boosters and power-ups, how they were unfair, they weren't balanced. And then this new one...
Good lord,
is it not fair, not fun, and not balanced? Like,
so we pretty much gave what we liked about it, and the sound and the music, of course, are awesome. I mean, the soundtrack to all the Uncharted is epic. Is pretty much the only word to describe it.
Oh yeah,
it's fantastic, and the audio of the game and the guns and the explosions and everything, and even the voice acting.
And I mean, I have faith after playing this that the way the game plays and moves, this single player is probably going to be amazing.
Yeah, it might be the best if they do it right.
Yeah.
If they have those awesome set pieces like they did in like 2 and 3.
And they will.
Yes, they will.
So it could be the best single player, but that's not what we're talking about.
No.
That's not the issue.
No, because we'll give them that. That's going to be good. That'll probably be worth buying just for that.
Mm-hmm.
My absolute favorite part of the beta, though, was the grappling hook edition. I think it was a great mechanic. It just changed the verticality of the game. Since it was so vertical, it even made it more so.
Yes.
And you can swing across gaps. You can shoot while you're swinging. And my personal favorite is if you catch someone off guard while you're swinging, you can do an instant kill, like punch down on them on the ground.
Yeah, like coming off like Spider-Man and just cracking their skull.
So satisfying. And I think that was by far the best part. And it was a great addition.
Oh, yeah. I think the game should have just been Uncharted 3 with a grappling hook. That's what we wanted. Like, we didn't want Last of Us with a grappling hook.
I agree, man. Okay, so let's kind of get into what makes it bad. I mean, we know... I mean, we kind of touched upon Maury, but you said the grenades are the main reason.
The main culprit for me.
Okay, so just explain a little bit about the Uncharted 4 grenades.
Okay, Uncharted 4 grenades, in 3 you could roll. If someone was like blind firing you down and went to punch you, you could just roll and drop a grenade, and they'd be punching air while you blew them up. This one, you can't roll grenade. So if some guy just starts blind firing you down, you're dead. Like, you can try and roll and dodge their punch, but they put so much damage into you, by the time you start shooting them, they just shoot you twice and you're dead. So it's horribly, like, there's no way to survive things in this game, which I feel takes skill out of it. Like, if you come up on 2 people, you can't, in the last one, you could jump and throw a grenade with, like, pinpoint accuracy. This one, you can't even jump, throw a grenade. So if you come up on, like, a team of people, you used to be able to, like, jump, throw a grenade and at least run away. This, you're just dead.
Yeah.
Like...
Yeah, 1-on-2, there's no competition. Like you said, even if you're a pro and you go up against 2 amateurs, you're going to lose. Just because one can sit there melee, one can just shoot you. You can't do anything about it.
No, there's just nothing to be done. It's... Deaths seem unavoidable. Kills seem way too easy to get, or impossible.
And to touch upon the grenade for me, I think we talked about this too. They're just so stiff. Like, you throw them, and half the time they would just land against the wall or just on top of a ledge when they should have obviously rolled over the ledge.
Yeah, they don't like bank.
Yeah, they just land. They don't bounce.
No.
They just sit there. So if you don't throw it directly at someone's feet, you're not going to hit them. And if you do, good luck getting them down. Which is another mechanic I didn't like, personally.
What?
The down mechanic.
Oh, the down mechanic. I hate the down mechanic.
So the game, instead of just killing someone when you shoot them down and they're dead.
Like every other Uncharted.
Yeah. Instead, this is kind of where the Last of Us shenanigans came into play. So you shoot them and you get a down. You get 1 down for your record. And then you have to run over and either kick them or shoot them continuously until they die. So they can walk around and they can stumble around when they're down, and then someone can come and raise them. Well, this turns into just a huge waste of time, because if you're far away and you're sniping, it takes away sniping, because you can't kill anyone in one shot anymore. They go down, and they're probably 99% behind cover, and you can't get them anymore.
Yeah. And either you have to, wait there till you die, or someone's there.
Yeah.
So I think they're forcing you in a lot of ways with this down mechanic and all the mechanics in general to, you have to be together.
Yeah, you absolutely.
And this is going to become an issue, if you just want to play by yourself, I want to play Uncharted tonight, none of my friends are around to play, but I'm not doing anything. And you're going up against teams, that's where this game is just going to be impossible.
I mean, we came a couple, I think the second or third day, we came across a team, and I think you got kicked that game, but the game ended up being 35-1, and I got 1 kill.
I played a match last night where it was 35-4, and I had 3 of the kills. Because this sidekick idea, I mean...
Oh, that's another whole thing. So the third one, you got, boosters and cards, and it kind of, helped you do a build.
You got a boost, 2 boosters, and then a kickback, which was like a rocket launcher. Mm-hmm. Which most people just use rocket launcher, but there were other ones.
Mm-hmm. So what did they do in 4 instead?
4, you have a laundry list of powers you can pick from, and they're all the worst one is the sidekicks, where you can just summon an NPC. Some of them are guys with turrets, some heal you, there's a sniper, and then there's the choker, which
it's actually called the hunter, but we've just
deemed it the choker. He chokes people. And when you're playing a team of good people, you need to get money, and you get money by killing people, picking up treasure, but the main way you get money is killing people. You can't kill anybody because you're playing an entire team of 5 that are sticking together and know what they're doing, and they're getting all this money. Eventually they start summoning sidekicks, and now it's you, your team versus 5 really good people and 3 to 4 NPCs.
I mean, I even noticed if you had more than 1 sidekick in your loadout, you could have 2 at the same time.
Really? I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, because I at some point tested that. So I had a sniper and a choker in the same time. I was getting mad points. So
you could just keep summoning.
Yeah, it costs a little more each time, but if you're doing well and you're in a good team, there's just no possible way, if it goes one-sided at all, you're done.
Yeah, and I remember in Uncharted 3, they added the power plays for the team that was losing. That was a good idea. Because you're playing by yourself and you come up across a sick team, you could kind of hide out, poke out, get some kills, and then on the power play do some damage. So at least your score was good. You would lose, but at least you got some kills. You at least felt like you did something. This is just, once your team is losing, there's no hope. I don't know. This is ridiculous, this game. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and I want to talk about that guy you played with that you said he was really good.
Yeah. I play a lot of Uncharted. I know a lot of players. I'm not going to say the guy's name, but I saw him online, and he's better than me. He's one of the top players in the world, I would say. And I asked him, I'm like, what do you think of this? And he's like, this is just nonsense. I'm going 9-5 because I can't throw a grenade and chokers are just running me down. Mm-hmm. And this is one of the top players in the world. And I don't know, you're telling me that fan reaction has been positive?
I mean, this is going off Reddit, and I mean, people are gonna. I mean, I don't know but I've rarely I went on Reddit and there was a post about what do you guys think about the beta. I was one of the few people to say anything negative, and I immediately got my head chewed off for it. So I'm going to say, the majority of it is very positive.
I mean, like I said, I have fun playing this game. I think if they do some balances, I'll play it for a while. I'm not playing this for 3 years. Mm-hmm. This is not going to be... Uncharted was my favorite. Was a passion of mine. I played a lot. I played on pro teams. I played on really good teams. I'm not the best in the world, but I'm really good at it. And I think from what I've been hearing from, top players, and this was the same as it was with Uncharted 3 when they changed the Gmail, it's like, this is not what we want. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know if I'm just speaking for I'm not trying to speak for all the hardcore of the hardcore, but I couldn't be more disappointed as someone whose favorite game is Uncharted 3.
Yeah, it sucks. And it sucks to not want to play it. Like, because I came home from work and I don't really want to play it that much.
I know, and I'm still playing it because I'm hoping I get better at it. But I feel like I haven't gotten better. I'm just as good as I was when I started. Like, the aiming is okay, but it's just... Uncharted was cool because you just ran around. There was no camping. Like, you just ran around. If you ran into 3 guys, you tried to kill them all. Like, this, you have to stay with your team, slowly inch up. This is The Last of Us with, like, Uncharted mechanics, and it's just not good.
Yeah. And I found myself in this game more so than most multiplayer games is I have to retreat all the time. Like, oh shit, there's 3 people coming at me. I have to run.
Yeah, you can't win that.
I'm constantly running around away from people, hoping I get the drop on one person. Because if I get the drop on one person, I can win. But if I can't get the drop on 3, I'll lose.
Yeah, and it doesn't seem like there's a lot of... And because I don't think everyone's running around. In the other one, there was a lot of just like one-on-ones because people were just running around. And you just run into each other face to face, and then it's like, who could shoot better? Mm-hmm. This, it's just packs of people, and you have to try to get behind them to get any kills. And even if you get behind them, you just can't dispatch people quick enough. You shoot like one, they realize you're behind, and then 2 of them turn around and put you down. It's... If you like team-based shooters, maybe it's for you.
I was going to say, before people jump on the bandwagon of, hey, this is supposed to be a teamwork game, I disagree with that. It's just a mob mentality. It's the more you have, you're going to win. That's pretty much what it comes down to. Like, if we teamed up 3 guys, we're probably not going to be able to fight 5 amateurs. Like, it's got to be a whole team going for the same goal.
Yeah.
There's no real technique to it or, like, strategy. It's just everyone run around in a big glob until you find the other people and kill them. That's it.
Yeah, that is it.
There's no flanking works to a certain extent, but by the time you flank and everything's already over. There's really no strategy.
Yeah, and I will say, like, here's another good thing. We'll kind of compliment sandwich this. The 2 levels are beautiful and well designed.
Oh, they're really fun.
Love to play Uncharted 3 on those levels.
Yeah, you're like running on, like you're sliding down roofs and like mudslides and like grappling around, and it's awesome.
Yeah, the maps are so well designed. Like, they're amazing. Like, I just don't want to play this game on them. I want to play Uncharted on this game. And the emphasis on the mob mentality is stupid. Like, I played Uncharted with my friend for like 2 years, and not one time did either of us suggest working together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, we just ran around.
It's cool when you back each other up. Like, I'll come save you, you save me. But, yeah, I don't feel like it should be necessary because, I mean, it's hard in this day and age to get people to commit to coming online all the time.
I know. We all have lives and things to do, and I may get like 2-3 hours a night to play a game if I'm lucky. Like, I work full time, I have a job, so it's like most of the time I can get on Uncharted. Like, last night I could get on. You're already asleep. All my other friends are busy, so it's just me, and I'm fighting like mobs. Mm-hmm. And in the last Uncharted, I could win a match by myself. Like, I would go over 20 kills and like under 5 deaths. And the rest of my team could manage to get, 25 kills. This one, I can't do that. Mm-hmm. Like, I can't even... If the other team is better, I don't even go positive. I probably went negative in my Uncharted career of over 100,000 kills. I think it was something like 4,000 matches I played. I can probably say I went negative like 20 times. I go negative all the time in this.
I know.
And that's including I remember playing the Uncharted 3 beta. Never just winning matches by myself.
Like that first night we played, I don't know what changed. We were literally going like, I had one match, I was 20-4.
Yeah.
You were like 17-2, and then we had another match where you were like 18-2, and I was like 15-3. Like we were stomping people. And then the next day we couldn't get above 10 kills, and we were probably going like with 5 deaths. Like we couldn't even. It was hard to do nearly as well.
I think a lot of what happened is everyone just got on when they got the game, because like that's what we did. Like we got the game, we were on day one, and that's the night we did really good. But once everyone got on it, all your hardcore players who figured out the workaround, just rent the game. All you had to do was rent it. You didn't even have to buy it. A bunch of people just got on and they're all teamed up. And it doesn't tell you if you're playing a team or not, but you can tell.
Oh, yeah.
And I think what happened is I felt like all I do is play teams of like, either they have no idea what they're doing and it's kind of boring. I think I played like one match where it was like really close and both teams were doing well. Other than that, it's like one team slaughtering the other team. And
really
if you're
bad.
Yeah, and if you're on that team that's getting slaughtered, you might as well just quit. Like, because you're not doing anything.
Yeah.
So it's either you're mowing guys over or you're getting mowed over.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. This thing is just... Hopefully they fix it. I don't know how they can.
Like I said, I think what they would fix... one more point that we forgot to mention is the melee is bullshit.
Oh, yeah, this thing.
So basically what happens is you run up and you smack someone. It takes about 3 smacks to get someone down. You hit them with your gun. If you get the jump on someone and you hit them first, you win. They could hit you back, you hit them, they hit you back, you hit them, they're done.
Yeah.
If you hit them and they roll, you'll just shoot them and they have half health already, you win. So it's ridiculous. And also there's a one-hit melee.
Oh, that is terrible.
Yeah, it really is, because if they're anywhere near you, they get it off.
Yeah, and here's the thing. This is going to happen. I don't know if I've seen it done. I've seen it done a couple of times, but there will be people out there
that just do that.
That are just going to sit in a room waiting for someone to walk around the corner and then just boom, hit them.
Guilty as charged, man. I did it a couple times just to see if it would work, and it did. And I did, like, it was ridiculous.
Like you did something that was, and I've been doing it since. Is there's this like super move where guys can just suddenly like teleport and move, and it's like for some reason Drake goes Super Saiyan.
Yeah, that's what it is.
It's ridiculous. We don't need this, but they're like super powered and they're zooming around. Just hide behind a corner, bring up your one hit melee, and they come around and smack them.
Yeah, you literally smack this dude out of their special in one hit, and they're down.
Yeah, you knock the Super Saiyan out of them, and they're just dead.
It's not even like there's a damage to it. It's a one-hit kill at this point, no matter what is going on.
And it's not hard to do.
No, it's like you have to warm it up, basically. It's like
and it takes 2
seconds.
Yeah,
literally. That. Like if you see, like what I'll do, what I've learned to do instead of doing the whole like melee thing, what you can do is you just charge. If you see someone close by, just start charging it, because they'll come and smack you. But that doesn't take you out of your charge. And it doesn't cancel it, so you just keep charging and you smack them, and then you win.
And I remember like hearing that like Naughty Dog lost some staff. Like they lost their head like writer. They lost, you know,
that woman, yeah.
And then this has me like almost worried. Like, is this a chink in Naughty Dog's armor? Because I can't think of a game they haven't made since the original Uncharted that wasn't a 10.
Yeah, like seriously, production-wise, it's fantastic.
Yeah, and
they've
like,
all been awesome.
The first Uncharted's good, but it's not like...
It was an amazing game until the second one came out, and then you realize, okay, this is even so much better.
Yeah, and Last of Us is amazing. I love Jack and Daxter on the original PlayStation.
Oh,
Jack 2.
Oh, yeah.
So good.
You're like gliding through the slums on those speeder bikes and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so awesome.
And it was so hard. Like, it was a challenging game, and Jack and Daxter were funny. I mean, it was an amazing game. Like, my friend Hammond, that's his favorite PlayStation 2 game of all time. And I concur. It's like, so this is like the best developer, in my opinion, going, and this is not good. Like,
And from my experience with betas, I mean, I play tested Battlefront, the beta, and I haven't bought it for the specific reason on the beta was late, and they just didn't change anything from the beta. I mean, they might have, like, changed some, like, nerfed some guns or something.
Yeah, I mean, at least this came out. The game is still, like, 4 months away.
Yeah, I know, but 4 months to change all this stuff. Like, what I think they need to do is, like, you said it's the least of your worries, but it's one of my pet peeves because it just annoys the hell out of me, is the down system. But, like, there's so many power...
don't get me wrong, I hate the down system.
Yeah, I know. But the power-ups and everything integrated into the multiplayer, taking that out would take a huge chunk out of what they did, and they're just not going to do that.
No, there might be modes where you don't have sidekicks, but I don't see how they do it. I think they just nerf them to the point where they're useless.
That's what's going to happen.
One's
going to reign supreme for a while. The choker was the best, and it's going to go to the sniper. And because the sniper's ridiculous, because it's a one-hit, like, not one-hit kill, but they'll hit you every single time they see you.
Yeah.
Unless you're just consistently rolling, they'll get you.
And you're not, because you're trying to move your camera around to spot enemies, and you'll come around the corner,
beam, and
boom.
then
Yeah, because you're not even looking in that direction. Boom, you're done. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know, this...
Yeah, I don't
see how they can't fundamentally change how grenades behave in 4 months.
No, it's all physics based. And
yeah, this is the game, and it's not. It's a letdown. Mm-hmm. Like, I think it's the most disappointed I've ever been in a video game. Like, my expectations were never higher for a video game.
And it's like we were just saying before it came out. It's going to be at least Uncharted 3, and I knew they were integrating a grappling hook in the game, so it's like, okay. They're probably not going to change much, but have a grappling hook. And they pretty much just took everything good out and then put a grappling hook in its place.
Yeah. Yeah, they're like, what we're going to do is we're going to put in a grappling hook and make it terrible. I mean, I don't think it's terrible. I think if this was any other game, I would like it.
Yeah.
Like...
But you want this to be a multiplayer that you can get behind and get really good at. And play for years.
Exactly. Like, I loved Uncharted 2 because I broke both my arms. I couldn't do anything. And all I did for 6 months is play Uncharted 2. I liked it that much. And Uncharted 3 comes out, and it was better. Like, it was different, but it was the same game, just better. I wanted Uncharted 4 to be Uncharted 3, with a grappling hook and slightly better.
So I think you got a taste of what we like and what we really don't like about it. So we'll move on for now.
Other bits of news?
Yeah, I think the biggest bit of news was the news that came out about the Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Yes.
Soon to release.
When is it releasing?
Well, let's not talk about that.
Okay.
Let's talk about...
because I have only recently just watched the new trailer. Like, I haven't read anything about it. I haven't watched the trailer at work the other day.
Yeah, I watched the trailer too, and... I mean, I have some qualms with it, but I could see where they're going with it, I guess.
Okay.
But I was on Kotaku today looking at some news for it, and there's a pretty good article about what's to be expected. And there was some quotes from the director of the game that I would like to read.
Okay, this is the director.
Yeah, and this is, just so you guys know, that this is Kester's first time learning about it, so it'll be his official reaction.
Okay, so it's our first reaction.
Yeah, okay. So it starts. From the beginning, we thought a Final Fantasy VII Remake would be bigger than a single release. This is the director.
Okay.
If you did get into a single release, if you did get it into a single release, there would be things we'd have to put into shortened compilation. Since we thought there would be stuff we would probably have to pare down and and supplemental things we probably couldn't add, we decided to divide it up, concluding that we have to do a remake that's fully packed with content.
Okay.
So did you understand what he just said?
I did not at all. Like, what is he saying?
Okay, there's just one more thing he said. If we took everything that's in the original game and remade it at that quality, we couldn't get it all on a single release. So.
Oh, wait a minute. Do we have, like, trilogy already?
We're talking episodic.
Oh, my God.
Final Fantasy
Fuck
VII Remake.
you, Square. Like, there is nothing worse than an episode. It's like, if it's an episodic thing, I'm not interested.
No, not at all.
Like, I don't care. Like, Resident Evil just did this with, what was that called?
Revelations 2.
Didn't care. And
Okay.
I love Resident Evil.
Okay, and the first comment on the post, and this is from Orion. I hope you don't care that I'm saying your comment on here, but it's the first sentence is, "Oh, that is some blatant bullshit."
It really is.
So,
Oh my God.
is it even? It's worse than you could probably even imagine.
Like, what are you doing this for? And here's the other thing. This is Square.
Yeah.
So it may never come out. Like, we might get like the first episode, and then they're like, "Oh, but we're working on the second episode for like 6.5 years."
I know.
Like, how long have we been waiting for Kingdom Hearts 3? Like, how long? Final Fantasy 13 Versus, or I guess it's 15 now, has been supposed to come out since the PS3. It was like a launch title.
I know. And then I found out 13 was, I think, 8 years in the making. Like, they have spent... They split their team up more than I could even have imagined and are making different titles. So...
They're not quick.
No, they're not quick. And this is the thing about it. Final Fantasy VII, it's not my favorite Final Fantasy.
No.
But I can't lie and say, I can honestly say that it is probably when you talk about Final Fantasy with someone, you can connect on the Final Fantasy VII level.
Yeah, because everyone
played it, enjoyed it, and it's like probably the most, I don't know, it just did a lot of things for this genre.
And you made a very good point the other day where it's like, the other Final Fantasies don't need to be remade. This one actually does, just because it looks shitty.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for the time it was okay, but like 8 looks fine.
Yeah.
9 looks fine. Like, we got re-releases of 10, which looked great.
Yeah.
This one did need a remake, and you know what we wanted? The same game
with better graphics. I'm talking the same battle system, materia, everything. Just the same.
It just needed to be the same.
And the director comes to say that if they would actually remake the game, it wouldn't be plausible as a full-on release because it's too much, I guess.
Even though we've already released it before. And it wasn't too much.
You don't even have to write a story. You don't have to make a direction. You just have to plop some programmers and animators down and do your thing for a couple years. That's what they need to do, and they're not going to do that now.
Like, Square is, like... I think of, like, these Japanese developers and, like, how far they've fallen. Like, there was a time when being Square Enix meant something. Like, there was a time when, like, oh, it's a Capcom game, made me want to play it. Now this is nonsense.
I know. It's the worst. And it just doesn't make... Okay, I agree with you completely about the episodic with Resident Evil. It was stupid that they did that. Okay. But you can get away with it with a shooting horror game.
Yeah, that's true. It's more acceptable.
You can't get away with this on an RPG. A game where you level wherever you want, however much you want, and make it episodic. That means that honestly...
Is there going to be a level cap in every one?
That's what I'm saying. So, for those people, I have friends that they just die hard level. They just grind it out. They love doing it.
There are grinders out there.
And then they like to play the game overpowered and enjoy the story and whatever. And that's how they like to play. That's fine if you want to spend the time doing it. But how can you plausibly do that in this game? Like, because they can't allow people to get to level 99 in the first episode while you wait for 2, because that's just, like, that's what people will do. oh, 2's not out for another 6, 10, 12 months.
Like, no, in Square 3 years.
And I want to play more, so I'm just going to grind till level 99. Like, they're not going to let you do that. So that makes me believe that it's not even going to be a leveling game. That it's going to just be an action game.
Oh, that's what we want. This is...
Oh, I know.
Like, this is what the fans have been clamoring for like, what? How many years?
Ever since it came out.
Yeah, like, for the past, like, decade, we've been clamoring for Final Fantasy VII, but not the same game. Like, we want the same game.
I know. So, I'm under the impression that to make this work at all, they would have to just make it based on equipment that you can't get until farther in the game.
That's true.
So, like, I can get the Buster Sword, but I can't upgrade it until Episode 2 to make myself more powerful. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I want to sit down and if I do want to play a role-playing game and, like, I'm just going to grind out some levels today, I'm just going to explore, like...
Side quests.
You need a full epic game here. Like, you do not need an episode that's, like, 2 hours.
That's the other thing. There's no, like, are they really going to release 4 episodes that are 20 or 30 hours apiece? No.
No, they're not.
There's no way they're going to do that.
And this is not, this doesn't even, and if you've seen the gameplay, like, that's all I've seen, it doesn't even look like a role-playing game anymore.
No, it's like behind if you haven't seen it, it looks fantastic.
It does look good.
The graphics are awesome, but it's behind the back of Cloud, running around like third person. It's not like fixed camera angles anymore, which, I mean, that's just how the way RPGs are going nowadays. But
yeah, people seem to be done with turn-based for some reason.
Which is why I like RPGs.
Yeah,
that's what makes them different.
I love turn-based.
Like, if I want to play an action game, I'm going to play Devil May Cry or Bayonetta. Like, games that are like can do mad combos, you can get better at them. At some point in an RPG, it's just you're clicking buttons and running around, and it's based on stats and stuff. It doesn't matter what you combo. It's just like, there's that like plateau where it's just whatever.
Yeah, I do like how we always throw in, it seems to be like, the only thing is like, it looks great. But nothing else about it do we like in the slightest.
Yeah, and that's kind of where Square Enix is going. I mean, look at Final Fantasy 15.
I have not.
Okay, but it looks fantastic.
It does. 13 looked really good.
Oh, yeah. It looked great.
Yeah, and it was running down corridors and watching a battle system. It's almost like they didn't even want us to play that game. It was just like, here, walk from this point to this point. We'll even do the battles for you.
I know.
Just watch our story that doesn't make any sense, and then we're in the sequel going to throw time travel in there.
And that's the thing. If you look at Final Fantasy 7, and I'm sorry, but it's not the best story in the world. It really isn't.
It's
okay.
I liked it because I just like, I mean, the whole thing with, Aerith got killed. Spoiler from a game that's like 15 years old, but Aerith dying was a huge deal at the time.
Yeah, because normally they don't kill characters like that.
Yeah.
Especially one that you potentially leveled significantly.
If you got her, like, to level, like, she was good. She was your healer, so she was part of the team when she died. So that was cool. It was cool that Cloud was just insane.
Yeah.
Like, he wasn't special. He was just a goddamn maniac.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that was a cool surprise. Like, Cloud was just psychotic. Like, and that was cool. Fantasy VII, story-wise, is it the best story? I probably like 10. But I wanted a remake of it just because it looked like shit.
Mm-hmm.
And I enjoyed the game. I was excited to play it again. I don't want an action game at episode 1 through 6. Like, what the fuck, Square?
Yeah, it is. It is such a blatant cash grab at this point. It's just awful, and people are gonna buy it, and I'll probably buy it too.
I'm gonna be there day one.
And yeah, and it's just it's such shit. It really is. And It's just so blatant. We can't put this in a single package. Like,
yeah, you can. You're just lying to me. Don't shit on me. You know what I mean? Don't piss on my leg and tell me it's raining. Like, you just want more of my money. Like, fuck you. I'm not. Like, it's just developers seem like they hate their fans anymore. Mm-hmm. Like, we just went over this with Uncharted. Like, all the hardcore people. Let's just not listen to what they say. Let's make this game for the people who are going to play it for an hour.
I know. And think about it. I mean, okay, this is episodic. That means you're going to have a stopping point. You can't continue on. So there's going to be obvious barriers at some point. There might be a part where you stop and you're done. Like, you can't play anymore. Like you beat a boss and that's it.
And it's not like we're waiting to see what happens with bated breath. We know exactly what happens.
They also claimed in another article I don't have on me that they want to add new things for old fans so that it's fresh or something, which we don't want.
We don't care.
And they're just going to mess that up. That's not going to be good.
Like, we don't want something different. Like, why would I want... I want a remake of this game because I love that game. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't want to play a different game. Like, and you're going to release it to me every 6 months?
Yeah. And there's a couple of theories that are pretty good. The one that stuck to me was, what if they just throw you into specific moments in the game?
Like, it's not even the whole game.
Yeah, like they do the beginning scene where you go into the factory and blow it up, and then, Cloud jumps on the train and all that stuff. And then you play through that, and then you just kind of jump to the next thing. There's no real... Because, like, how are they going to do open world?
Yeah, they'll just jump to...
Are they going to do the same open world like they used to? No, that's going to look silly. So I have a feeling they're just going to have fast travel to the next place. You're not even going to get to run around in the open world.
Yeah, it'll just be like one scene to the next scene to the next scene, and then it's over.
Yeah, and I honestly wouldn't be surprised if they kept the main plot, but then they just made it like open world or something. Like you run around the city and do side quests that weren't in the original game.
Yeah. Come on, dude. I'll call you back. I don't... okay. Well, you're going to probably beat me there. I'm not going to be there till like 6:45. Okay. You're being very rude. We're doing the podcast. Yeah. All right. Later. Bye. Sorry. That was my brother. He wouldn't stop calling me. Where were we? Final Fantasy 7. Fuck you, Square.
Seriously. So that's episodic. We get to look forward to that.
Yeah, I mean, that sucks because I'm looking forward. I was looking forward to Uncharted. Garbage. I was looking forward to Final Fantasy 7 Remake. Terrible. What's left? What am I looking forward to now? I don't know.
And yeah, I don't either.
Like, I guess Dark Souls 3. That's all that's left.
And we'll see. I mean, yeah, yeah. Anyways,
you can tell this is our first run at this. We're doing very professional here. We got people calling in the middle of the casts. We're very prepared for this. I don't know. Like,
and are they going to? Please tell me that they're going to charge us $20 for the first episode of Final Fantasy VII.
If not 30.
I would not be surprised if they put this game out on the market and they're like, you can buy the season pass for $120.
I would just go to Square and punch somebody.
Like, it's to the point where like fans and customers of these games need to do something. And it's unfortunate because it's like all these major corporations who have the budget to make AAA games are just taking advantage of everybody. Like, we're not going to give you a full game. You got to have to buy the DLC because there's no one else making video games that are good. And like the indie games are cool, but they're like $5 and they're not very long. And I mean, 9 times out of 10, they don't go anywhere.
Yeah, and you're like you said, they're like, maybe 5 hours.
Yeah, 6.
6, and they're fun. But we want AAA releases, and I guess this must be like, I wish that I liked Call of Duty at least. Like, I could at least, like, look forward to Call of Duty, like, one of those people. Like, or, you know, because at least I get one good game a year. I don't know anymore. Like, it's funny because we're doing a podcast, and I'm a very hardcore gamer. Like, this point in, like, gaming, I am the least interested I have ever been. Like, it's hard because it's just like, give us more of your money. We have Capcom releasing fighting games with DLC characters on the disc that you're going to have to pay for. We have Battlefront coming out. $60 game. It doesn't even have a single player. And, oh, guess what? DLC's $50. So pay $90 for our game that is just part of a game. It's not even a full game.
And they don't even tell you what the DLC is. Here's $50.
Hopefully it's good. Trust us.
Yeah, and the Arkham Knight season pass or whatever. It's like you paid. I think that was like $40 or something. They never told you what you got. And then like they released like the newest one, which it's been months, and it's literally 30 minutes of Catwoman gameplay.
I don't like Catwoman that much.
No, it's like fun to play for 30 minutes, but I don't want to buy it.
And the problem is, because we're such nerds, we want to play this stuff, and we're going to have to give them our money, so it's not going to stop. Like, it's just...
It's like, it's hard to trust any game developer now. It really is, because you don't know what they're doing. Like, the developer that's pretty much given the most, honestly, is probably The Witcher 3 developers. I mean, they had a season pass, but they're giving out 2 full expansions that are 20 plus hours worth of gameplay.
And that's acceptable.
Yeah, and you don't have to buy the season pass, and the game itself is well over 200 hours, if not 400 if you play everything, so you don't even need the season pass.
I mean, you could do DLC, right? Like, the Bloodborne DLC was really good.
Yeah, it's $20.
$20, a good 5-6 hours. Lot of fun. A lot of weapons, and it felt like a natural extension of the game. Like,
and it took them a good bit of time, so it definitely feels like they put forth effort after the fact the game was developed and it brought out. It wasn't like it was just sitting there on the shelf.
Yeah, they gave us a full release, excellent game, and they're like, you want more of it? $20.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be good. Like, we're releasing games now where we're getting a game and like, there's gonna be more to the game, you just gotta pay for it. Like, at least give us a full experience. Like, DLC maps are like bullshit.
Oh yeah.
Like, I mean, just going from Uncharted, I bought all the DLC maps for Uncharted 3, and none of them were good. Well, one of them I liked. The other 2 were terrible.
Well, and then you're risking the chance that no one else bought them. So you're splitting the community on these maps that no one else has, and you might not be playing with that many people.
And I turned the DLC on, and people would vote for the map that wasn't DLC.
Yeah.
It's like, why the fuck do you have it on? Like, there's an option to turn off the DLC. You have it on, and you're not going to pick the stage. Like, people are dumb.
Yeah, and that's, I think, what Battlefront's going to run into is the whole map thing, because... I mean, hardcore Star Wars fans, I get it. I mean, if anything Zelda came out, pretty much I'm going to buy it. So if you're into Star Wars as much as I am in Zelda, you're going to buy it. So they bought Battlefront, I get it. They might not have forked out $50. And from what I'm seeing, the player base is okay. It's adequate enough to find matches and stuff. But what happens when the people who have the money to spend $50 on more maps, twice as many maps, that's going to split the community.
Yeah, you're going to half playing DLC, half playing.
And you might throw off the people that don't even... Like, they might just stop playing it because they don't want to buy the DLC.
I just think it's ridiculous, to release a game that's just multiplayer only.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, there's some single-player stuff, but it's like mini. It's like...
Yeah, look at
challenges. Oh, my gosh.
Nobody's playing that anymore?
No.
Look at, like, Destiny. I assume people are still playing Destiny.
They are. The new DLC came out again, and like everyone's like, it's so much better now, and all this stuff. But you soured me on the first package. I don't want.
You soured me from the game.
Yeah, like, I don't want anything to do with it. You could literally, like, I'm not going to get Destiny 2. I will never buy another Destiny game.
No, they lost me.
Like, I just won't. I don't care what you promise, what you do different. I'm never buying another one of those
I
games.
might try it, but I don't want to fork over the money.
No, seriously.
Yeah, like, I have, a job, bills, all this. I have a budget to put into games, and you're releasing a game telling me that I have to pay more money for the game to get everything. Mm-hmm. And it's bullshit.
It's either that. Okay, this is pretty much what the games have come down to. You get the yearly sports releases. Okay, that's always been the case. It makes sense.
They have their fans. That's cool.
It makes sense for a yearly sports game. It changes so often, rosters, graphics, all that. That makes sense. Okay, then you get your shooters, first-person shooters. Which, in third person, I'll lump them together.
Just put them together.
Yeah, I mean, you get those, and those are turning into yearly releases. I'm talking about Call of Duty, Battlefield isn't quite yearly, but they're on the fourth one, so they're going to keep going. And then Rainbow Six is getting into the mix now. And then you got your open world games. And that's it. There's no other games.
That is it.
Like, you get the once-in-a-lifetime linear game that's very awesome, like Bloodborne. It's very linear, but it's so much content that you can play through multiple times and enjoy yourself
your
even
Bayonettas,
more.
your Zeldas.
But those aren't even coming out.
They aren't.
Like, there are none of those. Like, there's Devil May Cry is done. Like, you don't see that anymore. You don't even hear anything about it.
Ninja Gaiden's done.
No Ninja Gaiden. There's no Devil May Cry. There's no Bayonetta. Zelda's... Well, we can talk about that some other time. God forbid that comes out ever.
You will get it for your next Nintendo system. Well, don't you worry about it.
But that is it. Literally, if you don't want to buy a sports game and you don't want to buy a shooter and you want to buy a video game, you have to buy an open world game nowadays.
Yeah, and I think that's just a discussion for another cast, linear versus open world. Real quick, linear. For me,
Mm-hmm.
I like linear games.
Yeah.
I don't need an open world. I don't have time for an open world. I have a full-time job. I have a lot of friends. Like, I do not have 60 hours to piss away in a game anymore.
And that's the thing I think the reason I love Ocarina of Time so much was because it was almost like an open world game.
It was.
But it wasn't. You had to do temples in a certain order, but you could run around the field, you could find collectibles, and they weren't so far apart. There wasn't thousands of collectibles. It didn't waste your time. And when you wanted to get back to the game, it was a good pace. And like, all the areas were cool and everything. And just games aren't doing that anymore. It's if you play an open world game for a couple hours, that's the rest of the game. It's just how much you can tolerate it. If you really love it, good for you. But, I mean, you can't tell me it changes very much.
I do like me some open world games. I think that it's either open world, like you said, shooter, and sports games.
Yeah.
And the variety, I guess, is in indie games. You can still get your space shooters, your... platformers,
and puzzles,
and puzzles, but
and even that's where you have to go for old school RPGs nowadays. Is indie people, because they like that kind of game.
And I think we did it to ourselves.
Sure,
like we kept pushing better graphics, better
more
this,
options,
better that, but the games are just getting too expensive to make. The technology and the rendering and the animation and all that shit is just too expensive. That's why your games are $60. That's why you're paying $40 for DLC. Mm-hmm. Like, the games are too advanced almost, and now you got to pay for it.
They make a game that's giant, but they don't have enough money to fill it. Yeah. It's pretty much what's happening. I mean, I'm going to say Witcher 3 is the exception because that game is chock full of stuff, but that's always what the Witcher series wanted to be. It didn't stray from its origins. It wanted to be what it is now,
and they took the time to make it.
Yes, like
you're trying to shove out open world games like your Assassin's Creed every fucking year.
Yeah,
and I don't want to escort anyone anymore.
Yeah.
Like, I've escorted enough people.
I don't want to chase them.
I've gotten enough plants to heal this person. I've done enough of that.
Yeah. It's slowly becoming an MMO single-player experience.
Yeah, I'm done with fetch quests.
Yeah, if you want an MMO, keep it MMO. If you want a different game, like open world game, you just got to do it different.
I mean, if you can do a really good open world game with a variety of missions and it's all cool and it's all great, fine. But I don't want to fetch anything anymore.
Yeah, it's and like story-wise, everything's going downhill. It's just
What was the last game with a really good story? Last of Us.
Yeah.
Before that,
Final Fantasy X.
Final Fantasy X, great story.
First game that made me cry.
We could go on about how great that story is because it's
epic.
It's epic.
It is.
It's the best Final Fantasy story, if you ask me.
Oh, it might. Yeah, it's one of the best stories. It's just it could be a movie and it would be awesome.
Yeah, because you're a guy who's a dream who gets transported to another world to help a hot chick fight Godzilla.
Yeah.
And,
and it's your dad.
And it's your dad. Didn't see that coming.
No, it was fantastic. It was a great game, and that's where people are losing it. They want content, they want graphics, they want all this stuff, they want all these things, and stories just getting left on the back burner. And
I know, and it's
a shame.
It used to be like a really good story
would overcome everything else.
Look at Silent Hill 2.
Yeah,
like. That game is terrifying just because of its atmosphere and story. Mm-hmm. And we don't get that anymore. We don't get survival horror anymore unless it's like some Steam game.
Oh, no, we do, and then it gets canceled.
Oh, yeah, or it gets canceled, or Resident Evil's turned into an action game.
Yeah, it is.
And I liked Resident Evil as an action game. 4 was awesome.
4 was cool, but it did have those creepy moments.
It was terrifying because... It wasn't psychological horror, but there was something terrifying about when you heard that chainsaw for the first time.
And you don't know where it's coming from, and he just comes up the steps like, you can't do anything.
Yeah, he just takes your head right off. Like, that was terrifying.
It's the feeling of helplessness in a game that's lacking anymore, because you feel like Superman.
Yeah, you're a god anymore in all of these games. Like, there's no health bars anymore.
Yeah.
You just heal by channeling manliness. Like... I'm just going to sit here and channel my manliness.
My testosterone.
Yeah. Like, I just got shot 36 times, but I don't need a med kit. I'm just going to channel my manliness.
And you know what's funny? This will be the last thing, but the best first-person shooter I've played in the last probably 10 years was Wolfenstein, The New Order.
Really? I never played.
Fantastic. And it was old school. Like, it was just first person. It was.
Did you play Resistance 3?
No, I didn't really like those games.
I didn't either, but the third one was cool.
Yeah.
Because you know what I liked about it? You had a weapon wheel.
Okay.
So there was a bunch of weapons you could use. You didn't have to just pick 2. Mm-hmm. And it was intense because you had a health bar.
Yeah, and Wolfenstein, you had a health bar.
Yeah, I would say that it's pretty similar. Like, you have a health bar. It's intense because getting hit mattered.
And honestly, that was one of the best stories I've played in a long time.
Really? I've never played the game.
It was literally, like, the ending was so good. It wasn't, like, tier-worthy, but it was tear-jerker-worthy.
How is it?
Epic, legendary, like... Great closure to an awesome game. So because it's so cheap now too, if you want to pick it up, it's really good.
Yeah, you can probably get it for $10.
Yeah, and it's fun. It's like, I had a blast. I even played it again on the hardest difficulty. I liked it so much.
Yeah, and I will say, like, a good story, like Uncharted 2 had a really good story.
Yeah.
Granted, Uncharted 3 was the same story.
Yeah.
But the game was better.
Yeah.
So...
Which is okay.
That's fine. It's fine.
You have good characters, gameplay, and the story's good at the least. It's quality.
I think we should end the show. I was talking about this. Just like something you want to talk about. Doesn't necessarily have to be video games. Because we said this is going to be video game heavy, but we said we'll talk about other things. And I want to talk about the new trailer for the Batman suit.
Okay, we got to keep this condensed. 5 minutes.
5 minutes? Okay, but I want to talk about this. First of all, ruined the entire movie.
Yeah.
We've seen the movie now. I don't even feel like I have to go. Batman and Superman punch for a bit. They're gonna hit each other. They hate each other for some reason. And we know Doomsday is in it.
Yeah.
And he looks stupid. Like he looks like a troll.
No, dude. You know what he looks like?
What does he look like?
He looks like Raphael from the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
He does. He looks a lot like Raphael.
If you made him gray and had some rocks on his shoulders, it's Doomsday.
Yeah, and I like me some Doomsday.
Yeah, well, think about this. Okay, they're making a Batman versus Superman movie. Those two characters are more than enough to probably make an entire movie, if not two, just on their content alone. Okay, so instead of just that, we're going to add Goofy Lex Luthor, who looked completely awful.
He's terrible. And I like Jesse Eisenberg.
He's fine, and I would have been okay with it, but he's going the crazy Kevin Spacey way, and it's going to be terrible.
It looks bad.
He looks like a goofball idiot. Okay, so you're adding him in, which makes sense. You have to have a villainous character. Okay, then you're going to throw Wonder Woman in it.
And there's no surprise there. We even know how she comes in.
I know.
And it was awesome, but you ruined it.
Yeah. Okay, how long could she be in the movie? Honestly.
10 minutes.
20 maybe the last 20 minutes.
She just shows up to help him fight Doomsday?
Yeah, and then you get Doomsday. So we know that Doomsday can never exist again in any other movie in their universe because they just ruined him.
They're gonna kill him.
If they don't kill him, it's not like, and they make a next movie, it's not going to be epic because we already know he exists. Okay, so they ruined a potential villain they could have made a trilogy with because he's one of the best villains.
I do think the killing Superman arc is stupid.
Okay, that's fair enough. But I'm saying he's an awesome villain.
He is awesome.
Yeah, like they should.
He doesn't have laser eyes either. Like, why does he have laser eyes? The only thing about Doomsday is he's a physical match for Superman.
Yeah, and he can't be killed.
Like, he's not interesting other than that.
Yeah, and he just looks cool, too. And then they just F that up. They can't just make him look like Doomsday.
Which, yeah, he does look badass. He's got the bones. Looks like if he punches you, it's gonna hurt.
Yeah.
And I get if he's just shooting laser beams around.
I know. And then, did you know that Cyborg's going to be in the movie?
Yes.
Aquaman's going to be in the movie.
Is Aquaman again? Why are we throwing...
So the Flash is going to be in the movie.
So they're cramming this. They're just like...
Literally.
Here's a universe.
Yes. In one movie that could have been turned into a trilogy without any of those characters.
I think they're just so far behind Marvel. They're just like, we got to shove this together.
Yeah, but that's not what we want. And that's not what we... Like, I was really excited... Like, not super excited about the movie because I wasn't a huge fan of the newer Batmans.
We not going to get into how much I hate the Batman films.
But... Like, Ben Affleck, I was iffy on, but I love the suit. He looks awesome.
I like Ben Affleck. I was excited for Ben Affleck because at least he likes Batman.
Yeah, there's a fan, and I appreciate that.
He understands the character. Hopefully, he looks like he can move in the suit, which is a good idea. I think Batman should be able to move.
And we can at least understand what he's saying.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
I
like the voice modulator better than a terrible Batman voice.
Yeah, and exactly. I
liked everything I heard about this movie
until the last trailer,
and then I saw this trailer, and I'm like, maybe Zack Snyder ain't right for this.
I just can't believe they did it. Everyone was excited. I was actually I hated Ben Affleck's idea. I wasn't a huge fan of the Superman. I was like, oh god, they're making a movie together. It's going to be terrible. And then I saw like one or two trailers. I'm like, wow, I actually kind of want to see this movie now. And I'm going to go see it. And now it's like, I'm going to go see it and make a point to make fun of it.
Yeah, it just looks bad.
They just completely ruined it.
And like, the funny thing is the Civil War trailer came out like, what? A week before it? Mm-hmm. And say what you will, it doesn't look anything like the comic book Civil War, and I don't care. Like, I just want to see it. But you know what it did? It made me kind of excited to see it. Like, there were explosions, some chases, but I don't know what's going on. Like, I don't know why Iron Man hates and Cap are at odds here. Like, I don't know anything other than these two groups of superheroes are going to be fighting. This, I know exactly what's going to happen.
It's like we even know how they come together.
Yeah.
We pretty much have seen the whole fight scene, and we know the villain. We know the secret villain.
Like, what's the twist at this point?
There was a theory, would have been way better, in my opinion, if they would have just went Bizarro with it.
Oh,
instead.
like Bizarro Superman?
Yeah.
I would have much rather.
Like, if it was Superman versus Batman for the first 75% of the movie, and then
Luther
the last half,
creates Bizarro.
Luther creates Bizarro, and it's literally the same guy playing Bizarro, and he just looks creepy, and he's just maniacal, and he just messes everything up, and everyone starts hating Superman. It would have been so much better, and they kill off Bizarro, and then just cut the Superman Batman crap in half, have Ben Affleck do his movies, have Superman move on to Doomsday, and then you can do the Justice League if you want. It's like they're just cramming it all into one instead, and they could make so much more money if they just spread it out and better movies.
But they don't come out with a movie. They come out with a movie every 2 years. Like, Marvel's doing 3 a year. And not all of them are great.
Yeah.
You didn't like the new Avengers.
No, it's just too much of the same thing.
It was.
For me.
But I enjoyed it. I liked it. I thought it was fun.
I can appreciate it, but I'm sorry. I can only take so many witty comebacks, and just watch that movie again and tell me there's not a witty comeback after every single sentence in the movie. They're fighting the end boss. This whole city's crumbling down. And Tony Stark has to make a witty comment, and then Captain America pretty much has to throw like a homophobic comment out there, and then Quicksilver's running around like an asshole. It's just terrible.
Okay, I'll disagree with you on that. I like the Avengers. I had fun with it. I thought it was...
I'll tell you what the best Marvel movie is.
Okay, tell me what the best Marvel movie is.
Ant-Man.
You're going with Ant-Man? Ant-Man was a lot of fun.
Dude, it was so good.
Yeah.
It was so much fun to watch. And I didn't know what to expect, and Paul Rudd was fantastic.
I do like me some Paul Rudd.
And
like, I'm trying to think
great.
of something Paul Rudd related that I didn't like.
And if I didn't like it, it's not because of Paul Rudd.
Yeah, because Paul Rudd was probably fantastic.
Yeah, he's hilarious, dude. He's a great superhero choice for it. It's like Chris Pratt. It's like he's just different.
Yeah, Chris Pratt nailing it lately.
Like, he's fantastic too.
I like Jurassic World a whole bunch, like Guardians a whole bunch. I just think this just looked... Ugh. All I'll say I just think they're never going to get Batman right. Like, what makes Batman cool is that he can fight gods. Mm-hmm. And he's a guy.
Yeah, exactly. And they're just... I'm interested to see where they go with it. I need Batman in the Batcave being a detective. And very seldom in any of these movies, if at all, do you get that.
No. Maybe before this turns into a podcast about comic book movies, there are better ones out there. You can probably just go listen to those.
Yeah, but we might do. I mean, we might throw out if we see the movie and stuff.
I think we'll review when it comes to... Same with Star Wars, because... Of course, we're nerds.
Well, I think we're going to do a Star Wars episode and throw some Star Wars games in there that we might have played and would liked and stuff.
Yeah, because, all anyone's going to be talking about next week is Star Wars. I'm pretty excited.
So we're going to go see it opening night, and we'll let you know what it is, what it's like, and if we like it, and I'm sure it'll be awesome.
Yeah, but anything else you want to talk about, or you think that's the cast?
I think that's the cast. And guys... Thank you so much for listening.
Yeah, if someone did stumble across this and listen to it,
we appreciate it.
I hope you enjoyed it, because probably just going to be our friends listening to this one. So, hi, friends!
What's up, guys? But if you do like it,
tell someone.
Yeah, let us know. You can email us directly at flockofgeeksgaming@gmail.com. We'd love to get some emails, maybe some questions. I'd love to do like a question and answer
love
section.
Letters.
Yeah, so please send some comments. We're going to be putting up a Facebook page, YouTube, Twitter.
Let us know
Twitch, and just let us know what you think of it, what we could do better. We'll try our best. And topics. If something interests you that you want us to talk about, or you want...
Yeah, because we will talk about anything video game related. Like, we've been playing video games since our whole lives. Like, yeah. I don't remember a point when I wasn't playing video games a whole bunch.
It's our pastime, our hobby, and what we love to do.
And we'd love to talk about video games with you guys. Like, what is your opinion on Uncharted? Like, what do you think of this Final Fantasy nonsense? I think, Uncharted was the most disappointing thing that ever happened. But maybe you like it. Tell me why. Tell me why you think it's good.
And if you want to defend episodic Final Fantasy, then you can.
I don't think anyone out there will.
I mean, you could throw it out there if you want to try, and we'll talk about it and see what happens. And even if you have something to say about the DLC shenanigans we're dealing with.
Yeah. Next week will probably be Star Wars, though. It's going to be Star Wars week, so unless we do one before then, but we'll probably do something Star Wars related, even if we haven't seen the movie yet.
Yeah, that'll be coming up, and then
because every podcast out there is going to be doing some Star Wars, probably.
Yeah, we gotta jump on that.
Yeah, we're gonna do nothing but pander to people. So pander to our fan if we get him.
So, yeah, just let us know what you think. I mean, and I hope you enjoyed it, guys.
I'm Kester. Bye.
I'm Defense, and we'll see you next time.